there, my name is Kelly Dale with Off the Beaded Path. Today I want to show you how to make the Oculus earrings. And again, just like last week, these earrings kind of take the beaded toggle a step further. I've used components that I made in the beaded toggle to make these new earrings. I call these the Oculus earrings because if you look at them close up, they kind of look like eyeballs. I don't know why I think that, but I just do. But when you look at them far away and they're actually in your ears, they're very, very pretty. So to do this project, it doesn't take a whole lot of beads. That's the great thing about it. All you're going to need is two 12mm Rivolis. You're going to need about 4 grams of a size 11 Delica, 2 grams of a size 15 seed bead, and then only, and that's it, and a pair of ear hooks. And I'm going to be using about 1.5 yards of thread on each earring, so you'll need about 3 yards total. And then I'm also going to be using a wooden dowel today. This dowel is about 1 inch in diameter, and if I hold my little thing here, you can kind of see that it's the inch in diameter, so that way it'll kind of let you know. And what I'm doing for this is when I make my first initial ring of 15s, I'm actually going to put them on this little dowel because it does 2 things. Number 1, it allows me something to hold on to while I work, and number 2, it allows me to be able to keep my tension exactly the way I need it and not get my tension too tight to be able to get these earrings to make a good circular shape like I need them to. And I pretty much leave the beadwork on my dowel until almost the last step of the ring. Now, if you don't have a wooden dowel or you don't have a hardware store near you where you can go grab a little wooden dowel, one of these will come in the kits if you purchase a kit from us. And also these, you can use anything that kind of has the same diameter. So just think about it that way. But other than that, I'm going to go ahead and thread my needle with 1 yard of fire line or 1G thread, whatever you have, and then we'll get started. So here's the earring I'm going to show you how to make today. As you can see, it's done in several parts. You have your big ring here, and then you have the smaller Rivoli that we encase and then connect it to the ring. So I get questions every once in a while about the sizing of my earrings. I'm going to go ahead and show you the size here so that way you'll be educated and know about how big this is going to be. The first thing that I'm going to be doing is I'm going to thread on, I'm using Toho brand seed beads, and I'm threading on 70 Toho beads. Okay, so 70 of these. And I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to put them on this dowel. Now, if you're doing, there will be just a little bit of space. Once you put it on the dowel, there's going to be just a little bit of space, and that's completely okay. You don't want to see any more than that much space, around the piece. So if you get, if you're using a Miyuki bead, you may have to do, instead of 70, you might have to do 74 or 76 beads to get it to fit around the diameter of this, this piece. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go through a 15-0 right next to where the knot is. Let me jump in a little bit here for you. There we go. I'm going to do this. And then we're going to work peyote stitch. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to pick up 115. I'm going to skip 115. And I'm going to go through the next 15. And when you pull that, those beads are going to lay side by side, just like that. So you want to pick up 1 bead, skip 1 bead, and go through the next bead. And you're going to continue doing this all the way around till you get back to the beginning, just picking up 115, skipping 115, and going through the next 15. Okay, so when you do it, you're just doing little, I call it building bricks. You're building a house and you're just laying the foundation and laying those bricks in for your piece. Now that I've gone all the way around my piece, I'm back to the beginning. I've added the last bead here and went through the very first bead I started with. So now you have to step up And you step up by going through the first bead that you added in this round. So it's going to be this one here. There we go. Okay, now we're ready for the next round. So this is where I'm going to be using a size 11 Delica, okay? This is a size 11 Delica, and I'm going to go through the next 15 sticking up. And I'm going to go all the way around, picking up one 15-0 Delica, and then going through the next 15. So one 11-0 Delica, and then go through the next 15 all the way around. So I've gone all the way around, and I'm fixing to add the last Delica bead. So to do that, I'm going to go through the last 15-0 in my row, and then instead of stepping up to the first Delica that I added, I'm actually going to stitch across at a diagonal. So I'm coming out of this bead, so I'm going to go through two 15s at a diagonal right next to where my thread is coming out. So now I'm coming out of any of the up beads on this side, this other side. Now I'm actually going to, you can work with it just like this, but I'm going to slide this down to the other end of my dowel so that I can work with it near the end and I don't have to worry about my thread getting caught. So at this point, you're not doing anything else with the 15s. You're only using your 11 Delicas. So I'm going to pick up an 11 Delica. I'm going to go through the next 15 that's sticking up. And I'm going to do this the whole way around. Just picking up one 11 Delica and going through the next 15 that's sticking up on this side. Once you get all the way around, I'm ready to add my last Delica. So I'm going to come through the 15-0 and then I'm going to step up by going through the first Delica that I added in this round. Now we're going to do a whole nother row of Delicas. So we're going to pick up a Delica, go through the next Delica sticking up. Pick up a Delica, go through a Delica sticking up. You're going to do that all the way around on this side. So I'm getting ready to add my last Delica here in this spot. So I've added the Delica, and I'm going through the last Delica for this row, which is the lower one, not the upper one. This is the first bead I added in the row. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pull that through. So that gives me 2 rows of Delicas on this side. So now I'm just going to continue at a diagonal through to come out of an up bead over here on this other side. And then I'm just going to slide this down. And I'm going to pick up a Delica, go through the next Delica sticking up. And you're going to go all the way around, just picking up a Delica and going through the next Delica sticking up. You're going to do 2 rows. So you can do the row you're doing now, and step up, and then 1 more row on this side. So once I finish both sides, this side here that we're working on has 3 rows of Delicas, and this side only has 2, okay? So you'll just have the up, down, up, down, up, down of Delicas here, but you'll be able to see you'll have stacks of Delicas. So I've got a stack of 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. So I'm going to slide this off of the piece, and now I'm ready to zip it together. So I'm going to press it like this. My thread is coming out on the right hand side. So I'm going to take my needle and I'm going to go through the next Delica to the left, which is going to be this Delica here. Go through the next Delica to the right. These are the ones that are sticking up. Delica to the left. Delica to the right, Delica to the left, Delica to the right, and you're just going to keep going, zigzagging from left to right, zipping the piece up as you go. Once you have the piece complete, this is what the piece will look like. I zigzagged it up and I just tied the thread off. That's all I did to finish this one. So if you want to, you can go ahead and make the second one so you'll have that part over with. But once you do that, then you're going to thread your needle with a new piece of fire line, or 1G, about a yard long. And you're going to thread on 32 size 11 Delicas. And you're going to tie those into a circle. And I've only left, you can see, just a very short tail. Now, you can put this on something to work with it, or you can just work as you are going here. But you're going to go through the Delica next to the knot. Doesn't matter if you go to the top or to the bottom, you're going to go through one Delica. Then you're going to thread on one Delica, skip one Delica, and go through the next Delica. And you're going to pick up one Delica, skip one Delica, and go through one Delica. Okay, so you're starting it out just like we did with our 15s on the base of the other. Okay, so just continue going around doing your peyote stitch on this initial ring. So once you've gone all the way around, now you're going to step up by going through the first Delica that you added, which is going to be this one right here that's sticking up. Okay, now we're going to be adding the 15s. Here we go. Alright, so you're going to pick up one 15, the one little 15, and you're going to go through the next Delica sticking up. And you're going to pull that tight. Now you want to pull this really tight as you work these next couple of rows. Thread on 115, go through the next Delica sticking up. 15, go through the next Delica sticking up. And you're going to do this all the way around, just pulling the thread tight. I'm now ready to add the last 15. So I'm going to go through the last Delica of my row and then step up through the first 15 that I added, which is going to be that very next little size 15 seed bead. I'm going to do another row of 15s. So you just pick up one 15 and go through the next 15 sticking up. And you want to pull this very tight because this is what's going to hold our Rivoli in place. So a 15 and go through a 15 and just go around this ring picking up a 15 and going through a 15 all the way around this ring so that it really starts to lay down like this is here. So now I'm fixing to add my last 15. So I'm going to go through the lower 15, not the top one, because that's the first one that I added in this round. I'm going to go through the lower one here, and I'm going to go ahead and pull this through. So now it looks kind of woppy-jawed, and it don't look that great. But I promise when we do the next steps, it's going to work out right, and you're going to like it. So I'm coming out of that lower 15, and I'm going to go at a diagonal through 3 of my 11s so that I'm coming out of one of the ones that's kind of sticking downward here. And now I'm ready for the Rivoli. So I'm actually going to take and get my 12mm Rivoli. I'm going to lay it down right inside that encasement that I just made. I'm going to keep it, I'm going to leave it sitting down in here, and I'm going to work a round of peyote, just picking up a 15 and going through the next Delica sticking up. Picking up a 15, going through the next Delica sticking up. You're going to do this all the way around, just picking up one 15 and going through the next Delica. And as you do this, be sure, like I said, and pull it tight because this is going to start to lay over. This is what's going to help it stay into place. I've gone all the way around, adding my size 15 seed beads. And I added the last one and came through my last Delica. And I'm going to step up by going through the first 15 that I threaded on. Now, this is where the pattern's going to change a little bit. If you're using my Yuki seed beads, you're going to do another row of 15s, and that's all you'll have to do. If you're using Toho seed beads, you have to change it up just a little bit differently because of their size. So, if you're using Tohos, what you'll do is you'll thread on 1 15 and go through the next 15 that's sticking up. Then, you're going to go through, not adding anything, you're going to go through an 11 Delica and a 15. Then you're going to thread on 1 15 and go through the next 15 sticking up. And then go through a Delica and a 15. And you're going to do that around the piece so that when you come back around, you'll be stepping up through this first 15 that you added in this round. So once you've gone all the way around and you stepped up, this is what your piece will look like. Now you got to do one more row, and all we're going to do is pick up 2 15s, and you're going to go through the next 15 that's sticking up, okay? So this first one, when you do it, it may look like you've got a little bit of extra room, but don't put any more beads. All you need is the 2 beads. So you do 2 and go through the next bead that's sticking up. And you're going to do this all the way around and then go back and reinforce this circle of beads once more so that it pulls it down and it gives you a nice snug fit on your Rivoli encasement. So go ahead and do that and reinforce it. So once you've gone all the way around and you've reinforced, this is what the back of your piece will look like, and this is what the front will look like. And as you can see, it's snugly in place. It's not moving whatsoever around the Rivoli. So now you're ready to actually make the piece that will connect those two together. So to do that, what we need to do is, if you'll look at your Delica beads here along the outer edge, you have a single Delica and then a stack of 2. A single, a stack of 2. A single, a stack of 2. So I've stitched my needle to where it's coming out of a single bead. Not a stack of 2, but a single one. So any of the single beads along the outer edge, that's where you want to exit. I'm going to be using my size 15 seed beads. I'm going to pick up 15. Now once I have those 15, I'm going to go back through the same Delica that I'm coming out of so that it makes a circle. So I'm going to come right back through this same single Delica and pull that through. So it's going to make a loop like this, and the loop's going to look way too big for this, and that's what you want, because now we're going to lay this behind the loop that we've got here. I'm going to take the needle and I'm going to stick it through so that the needle will actually be coming out here to the front. Now I'm going to pick up 7 Delicas, 7 15s. And you want to come, and there's a couple of ways you can do this. You can count 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And you want to go through the 8th bead here at the top, which will be the center bead when you pull it just like this. So I've got just like this, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pull that thread. And that'll pull it on down there. And then I want 7 more 15s. And I'm going to go through the Delica, the original Delica here on the base I was coming out of, so that it makes a circle. So when you pull it, what's going to happen is you're going to have a loop on the front and a loop on the back. That's exactly what you want. Now, you're going to go up through eight of these 15. So you're going to go through 7 and then the 8th one, which is our center one here. So I'm going to go ahead and go through the 7. And then the 8th one, which is the center one. And now I'm going to make the actual loop for the earring. So I'm going to pick up 6 15s. And right now my thread is exiting the 15 going to the left. So I'm going to go through this bead from right to left so that when it pulls, it makes a little loop. Now I'm going to reinforce this loop a couple of times and reinforce my 15s on each side and then tie this thread off. So once you have everything tied off and you've made a second one for the pair, then all you have to do is add your ear hook to that top loop and you have a really fun new earring. I wanted to show you a different sample that I have made. This is using the green, gold, and cyan for the Rivoli in the center, and these will be great, a really fun earring for Christmas. So there you have it, the Oculus earrings. So I hope you guys enjoyed learning how to make the Oculus earrings. We do have the written pattern for sale on our website, which is offthebeadedpathbeadstore.com, as well as kits for the 2 color samples that I showed you today. You can also find the materials that you need on our website, which is again offthebeadedpathbeadstore.com. And I just want to go ahead and apologize to you guys. I know my throat or my voice got really bad there towards the middle, but I've got some horrible allergy issues going on. So just trying to get over that. But I hope you guys have a great week. Thank you for watching and come back next time for another great project. Bye-bye.